Yeah, well, two of us. It's Danny and Mark. Good afternoon, Danny and Mark. How are you?
We're very good. How are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, we're very good. And how are you, Danny?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Overworked and underpaid.
I know. I'm terribly sorry we work for the BBC, so I'm sorry the chair doesn't spin round, by the way.
Budget cuts. It's okay.
Yeah. Dublin's finest, the script. Danny O'Donoghue and Mark Sheehan are back with their, and of course Glenn, who's not here, are back with their first new material for 2 years. Just there you heard Hall of Fame, which is the new single, and we have in front of us a new album. The single is out this week and features on the new album. And what is the album called? Number 3?
Yeah, this is also something that shows everybody's age. Number 3 when it's on physical sales, but online everyone calls it #3. So that's how we're telling people's age. They go, "Is it #3?"
We know what that
He's definitely
means.
under 20.
Yeah, we know hashtag. That's okay. We're up with it.
Yeah, okay.
So now I noticed that there's a little bit of what I might call urban Irish rap on there.
Right, yeah.
A little bit of poetry, a little bit of pop, a little bit of kind of West Coast piano on there. It's all in there, isn't it, really?
Yeah, man. I mean, because it's kind of like basically all our kind of influences growing up. We've kind of just put them in the pot, you know, and basically said, you know, on the first album it was very much so the same thing. And the second album, I guess, it got a little bit more anthemic because we'd spent so long, I guess, out on the road and, you know, kind of, I guess, learned how to write a big song that everyone wants to sing.
Yeah.
So in this album now, it just feels like we've taken the same confidence that we had on the second album and almost went back with our first album mentality. So it's a perfect meld of the two, I believe.
Are you amazed at your success? Because, I mean...
I'm amazed by any success at all. Yeah.
No, but we remember you when you first came in here with your very first single and the very first album, and we're thinking, wow, these guys are good. And then you went off and you conquered America and Australia and all these different territories, hit after hit, and it's still going on. I mean, that's an incredible track record, isn't it, really?
It is. It's a really incredible one for us as well. There's no one more surprised than us, lads, to be honest. We're happy to be working. I think when we were talking at first, we said we're happy to be employed. We really were happy to be employed, just to be playing music every night. And now some crazy person has given us enough budget to go in and make more albums all the time. So that to us is the dream job. So we just keep doing that. And it just seems that music is paving the way for us around the world.
And what about finding yourself on talk shows in America and on David Letterman and all of this stuff?
Man.
What was that like when you first started to make it in America?
Crazy. I mean, you know, on our first album, remember, we were supporting Paul McCartney, flew into New York. I looked out the hotel room window and I seen Paul McCartney was playing on top of the David Letterman building.
Oh, great.
Kind of like an ode to the Beatles kind of thing, what they did years ago and stuff, where he was playing right on top. So I went out with my camcorder to kind of go, I need to grab this because we're supporting Paul McCartney in Shea Stadium in 2 days' time and we're on the Letterman show tonight.
Wow.
Do you know,
It was
like,
just a really
it was
strange
bizarre thing. I'm like, this is just...
You want to
this
get it
is
on camera just in case it didn't really happen.
Yeah, exactly. I wake up in the morning and my dream happens to be on my phone. Awesome.
My dream is a nightmare. Oh no.
And have you, I mean this lovingly, have you managed to keep your feet on the ground? Because you guys seem the same as you ever do, but a lot of guys, well, they go big time.
It just hit us later on in life. No, just, I mean, you know, if we had been 17, 18 years old, I guess, it's a lot harder to try and keep your feet on the ground because you don't really have too much world experience or, you know, you maybe haven't been starving for a long time and trying to worry where that next check is coming from. We, on the other chance, have, and we've got lots more experience than that.
We kind of joke. We joke sometimes saying we were unsuccessful for longer than we've been successful. It's a very serious joke, but it's real. So I think you do appreciate it now. I think one of the biggest things for us is even when we get on stage to know that the crew have set our gear up for us, because that was something you had to do in every pub and bar, and it meant, oh my God, that every day lugging your gear up these
Unload
steps.
your own van.
Yeah, people pouring drink into your thing. Now we go in there and it's set up while another truck is somewhere else set up another show. You know, it's unbelievable.
It's what we call
a posh problem. We call it.
Do you get home a lot to Ireland? Because I reckon that probably keeps your feet on the ground as well.
It does. I mean, just being around family, we have a lot of Irish crew around us as well. The second anybody starts to rise above anyone, that bubble gets popped. It really does. In the worst way possible as well, because they just turn it on you and give you so much slaggins that you just don't want to ever let the feet leave the ground.
Absolutely not. We're going to come back with Danny and Mark from the script after this. Don't go away. Danny and Mark from the script. So, Mark, are you guys looking at Danny on that voice show? Are you thinking, what's he pouncing around on there for doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I am his mate, so at the end of the day, when I'm at home...
He was the one who wanted me to do it in the first place.
I did. I was the two hands pushing him to do it because I quite enjoyed the idea of him doing it. But
of me getting slagged on national television.
But while he was jumping on his chair on the voice, I was jumping on my chair at home, throwing things at the TV, going, get down, or turn around for that person, you know, just...
Well, we were all doing that.
Yeah.
You're not doing the next series?
No, I'm not going to come back.
No,
I'm only kidding. Again, I keep hearing reports that people are or aren't coming back. All I know is that, I mean, I've talked to Will. He seems to be coming back.
Jesse's coming back.
Jesse was like, I'm back. You know, and Tom, I'd love if Tom came back. In fairness, he doesn't really need to. He came on there, he took the whole show by storm, won, and he should probably just...
And he knows Elvis, of course.
And he does know Elvis, and it doesn't get any better than that. It can only go downhill from there, can't it? You know?
What was it like for you then, Danny, having to be effectively nasty? You were quite nice, you were you, but you had to be honest with people.
That's hard because, you know, being a lead singer of a band, I get, you know, away with lying all the time. I'm joking. Like, what?
Stop that.
That's what the script are, you know, we've always been honest. And again, like, being in the band, we never give bad news in a bad way. You always try to give constructive criticism or bad news in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's the ethos. We took that onto the show to kind of go, you know, you don't have to be up there saying bad things about people because this is an art for them and they've put a lot of emotion, a lot of heart into it, so the least you can do is be nice about it. You know, we've always said that I would much prefer that going on in the schoolyard than, you know, a talent show where some kid gets up to sing, you know, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then all the crowd are going off. It's a horrible environment to have your kids grow up in, I believe.
And what about criticism? Inevitably, when you do any of these shows, and let's face it, The Voice isn't on its own in this.
Sure.
You know, X Factor and all of these shows, no matter what show goes on television, you get the initial, isn't it fantastic, isn't it wonderful, and then everyone starts picking holes. How did that affect you when it kind of turned a little bit?
I mean, for me, it didn't really affect me much because, again, I'm not the creator of the show or the format. What we did for bands, I believe, personally, was show that there's another, you know, a quarter of 12 million people that we were getting in those initial weeks. We're looking at a band.
For us on The Voice had 4 people that would represent, let's say, 100% of what the music industry would stand for in the UK. And we needed one guy up there that at least represented live acts and live bands. And that, to me, for BBC, I thought that was a great job because
great move.
It was so important to at least show that we've great bands in this country that are still trying. So let's have a flagship out there, some show that will expose that a little bit.
If you remember, this was the most successful entertainment show the BBC has ever launched.
Oh, yeah.
In our first season, you know, we've got up to 12.5 million viewers, which was incredible. Like, we were only literally told, like, be prepared for like 6 or 7 your first season.
Yeah.
Then, you know, we'll start tinkering with some changes and go into the second season. Nobody understood the explosion that we got in those first 5 weeks, to where it's like, you know, we beat out X Factor in their first year, Idol, and you name the show, we've done better at it. So what we weren't prepared for was the explosive start at the intro. But bring on next year, man.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's talk about the album, #3. And, okay, Hall of Fame we've played. I quite like... Which is the track that starts off slow and then goes into a nice rap? Is it If You Could See Me Now? It goes into a rap.
Yeah.
I really like that. Can we play that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Tell people about the album from your point of view.
The process of the album was really interesting to us because not a lot of people know that we write and we produce all of the music. It's a self-sufficient machine. So it was a massive job for us while Danny was doing The Voice, of course. We had to split our time in half and try record an album. And this album is a real snapshot of 6 months of our lives. We, oddly enough, recorded the album in Studio 3. Again, the reason why the album was called 3. So we spent all that time in Studio 3. And for us, we were trying to make music for the head, heart and feet. Music to think about, music to feel and music to dance to. And I think there's a little bit of that across the board, and I think we've really tipped our hat to our first album. We went back to basics, and instead of going and making some big dance record, of course, we just stuck to the script.
And will this be out in different territories as well? Are we coming out in America?
It's coming out. We're really fortunate we get a worldwide release. It's right now even the single is sitting at #1 in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, it's across the board, Canada. So it's really doing well for us. The album's actually out this week, which is great, and we're really excited about that to see how it works around the world.
Yeah, excellent. So as we go, we're going to play If You Could See Me Now, and we're going to play Kaleidoscope, and we say thank you to Danny and Mark, the script.
Thank you, guys.
Lads.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. See you next time. Continued success.